Hey everybody, it's that time. We have the 8-year coating from Clean by Pan the Organizer. I'm going to be applying this to the SUV here. I'm going to have to do, in fact, I have to get a little bit creative out here today because, and this is really weird, it is, what does this say, 79 degrees with 33% relative humidity. It is definitely cooler in the shade, but there isn't a cloud in the sky as you can see here. So we got to get creative on how we do the coating. So let me show you what's going to happen here, and then we will get going. Most of the car is in full sunlight right now, and if I go to this side, all right, this is complete full sun, and it is hot, literally hot to the touch. I don't want to apply a coating there, but in fact, the hood, I mean, this is it's pretty warm to the touch, but it's not quite as hot as the other side. Now, I have a full side that is in 100% shade, that's nice and cool to the touch, all right? So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be applying it to the side of the car first. Normally people apply, you know, when you look on internet and everything, you apply it to the hood. It makes it easier because it's easier to see, but in my case, we have to get creative, or when you're outside, you have to get creative, and sometimes you need to work in the shade and then spin your car around, etc. So what I'm gonna do is do the whole side of the car, and then once I have some shade on the hood, all right, once I get some shade on the hood, I will show you how the application goes, and then I will kind of explain maybe if I found out any pitfalls or anything else going on, you know, that I might have noticed on the application. So that said, let's get the box open and see what it comes with and see what the directions are. Okay guys, so we have the box. It's purple. I don't know how well this is coming through on camera. In fact, it is still sealed, so we're gonna have to open this up. All right, and it comes in like a plastic wrap. Anyway, if we open this up, all right, it's a nice little packaged bottle, and it has, all right, it comes with its own little applicator, and you can hear it's got like a barrier behind here. All right, you can hear that and feel it actually through there. So it's made to not soak in. And then if we pop the bottle out, all right, so we'll do that. So it's just a glass bottle, 8-year coating, ceramic coating. We have a direction sheet on here. Gives you the contact angle, pH resistance, dry time 1 hour. Okay, and that's phenomenal for those people. If you work outside like me, that 1 hour dry time is awesome. pH neutral resistance, 12 hours. So that means after 12 hours, we could come in if we needed to with a pH neutral contact wash, okay? Full chemical cure up to 7 days. Most of the time it's going to be a little bit shorter than that, but wait 7 days just before you do anything non-pH neutral, okay? And then the optimal application temperature between 10 and 30 Celsius, which is between 50 and 86. And that's why, you know, like right now, like in the sun here, I'm at 86. I can guarantee that these surfaces are way hotter than that. So that's why we're gonna do this in the shade. Now, after opening, store any remaining coating, okay, in the freezer at 23 Fahrenheit or below. And then dry and cure times are based on standard room temperature of 68 degrees, okay? That's definitely one thing we don't have outside here is 68 degrees. And then on the other side of the card, okay, it gives you the directions: decontaminate, polish, panel prep, and then coating applications. And it says apply a liberal amount of coating, your applicator spread evenly. Within 1 to 2 minutes, remove any excess coating with a microfiber towel. Okay, and then you want to make sure, you know, an additional layer can be applied within 1 hour of initial application. So we may actually do that. We may test that. All right, so because any good coating job starts with a proper preparation process, and in this case, I'm going to use the Armor Detail Supply Decon Soap version 2. And in the wash bucket, I have mixed 2 ounces of the version 2 Decon soap with 3 gallons of water. And that gives me about a 10 to 1, or I'm sorry, a 10 on my pH meter as far as level of alkalinity. And you could see I'm foaming now. I'm foaming on, and I'm using the IK Foam Pro 12 with in the mixture. It is 2 ounces per gallon on that, and you could see it provides some great foam, and it sticks really well. So then I let the foam dwell, and I just go in with my contact wash, and in this case I'm using the flat outs from Auto Fiber. I absolutely love those things. You could put like a half a dozen in a bucket and just use, one for every, like literally one side for every panel, and never have to go back into the wash bucket. And then once we're washed, I go back with my keg sprayer, because at this point I do not have a pressure washer or even a hose to use outside. So I'm just using the keg sprayer, and I think I might have went through like 6 gallons total in this process doing this, but just using the keg sprayer worked fine. After the decon wash, I'm going in with the clay process. Now I'm spraying clay lube on the surface there. And after I spray the clay lube, I'm going in with the Detail Company Age of Iron to do the clay process, iron removal, just to remove any contaminants on the surface. And you could see that right here. So once that clay step is done and I have a nice smooth surface, I rinse that off. And now I'm going to get into the water spot removal process. Now, you want to do water spot removal after the clay process. And in this case, my local company again, PDP, which is Professional Detail Products. And we're just going to wipe that in with a damp microfiber towel. I let it sit and dwell for as long as I can. I wipe it in. And then we're going to go back in with we're going to spray it off really, really good again with the keg sprayer to make sure we remove all that acid that's on the surface. We want to just get rid of all of it. And that's what you see here. So now after we do that process, our actual decontamination is now complete. And we have what we should have is a perfectly clean surface to start our polishing step. And in this case, you could see right here, I'm doing a test spot, and I tested with the Clean by Pan Polish. I did a test spot with Rehab. I did with the DIY Gold Standard, multiple different pads. And what I finally, in fact, even I mentioned the Rehab there. I settled on it, or I tried a lot of different stuff, a lot of different pads. And I wound up settling on actually Nasiol 3.0, I think it's the 305. It's their medium cut with that blueberry pad. And that provided me like literally 90% of the swirl removal. And always check, with your inspection light. So very important. But I'm doing a 2-step because the 3.0, the medium cut compound did leave a little bit of a haze. So what I wound up doing is following it up on my 2nd step with the CARPRO Reflect with that yellow pad, and it provided some just amazing, amazing gloss. We need to do our panel prep first, and what I'm going to do is I'm just spraying this on the surface. Now what I already did after polishing, I actually used already a panel prep spray to remove or to make sure that I have all polish residue off, but it never hurts, okay? And I'm going to use the prep spray sold by Pan, all right? So we're just going to go in really quick and do this, and you want to use a non-linting towel. Use a non-linting towel to do that because in fact, let me show you. I used, when I was doing the cleaning with the original panel prep, a different company, I was getting some linting off of these. These are like 500-600 GSM from Auto Fiber, but I was getting some linting going on. So you definitely want to make sure that you use a non-linting low pile towel. All right, guys, so the one thing you're going to need, you definitely need a stopwatch, something like that to keep track of time. Okay, I'm pretty much in perfect conditions here in the shade, It's basically, I think it's like 65 in the shade. I have a nice cool panel that I'm working with, relatively low humidity, below 40%. And well, let's get going. So we got our 8-year, we got our timer, and we got our saver block. So, and we've shaken, okay, so I did the entire thing again with the panel prep spray, which flashes off incredibly quick, incredibly easy. Yeah, this stuff's awesome. So anyway, as with any coating, always open it with the lid facing away from you, okay, just in case. And it has like a seal on here, like a tamper seal. All right. Always put the lid where you can grab it easily. And in fact, I completely screwed up because we need something else. That's right, guys. Always wear gloves when doing a ceramic coating. In fact, really any chemical. Changing your oil, adding antifreeze, just, these are cheap enough at Harbor Freight. Just get yourself a box of gloves. They're always going on sale. There we go. All right. So now again, we have our bottle. We'll just shake it up again just for the hell of it. All right. Take the lid off. And we're gonna put a decent amount on the block to start with. Wow, this comes out like super thick. Like this dropper, you see some of these, they come out pretty like, actually it's not super thick. It's just a small dropper. Some of these, as soon as you turn them over, they pour out. This one, and you can see I probably got 20 drops on here now. Let me show you that. So I covered it pretty good. And well, let's see how this goes. And I'm gonna go crosshatch pattern. Basically, I'm gonna try and do half the door. And it seems to go on fairly thick, to be honest with you. Actually, let's go vertical. And you don't want to go too fast. All right, you want to make sure you get even coverage. And I got to make sure that I start the timer. All right, so timer is started, and let me get the bottom of the door. We're just gonna come in, all right, and in small circles, I'm just gonna buff. And this comes off super, super easy. It is so slick. Holy stuff. Holy stuff. And when you, in fact, let me show you guys. If I end here with the coating, always buff into the next panel so you don't get a high spot. All right, so I did my leveling. All right, now I'm gonna come back with my buffing. And this is just an insurance wipe. All right, guys? You should not be getting anything off with this. This is just insurance. So for this, I'm actually only gonna do. Now, the other thing too is it's not really thick. You could see it in the bottle. I mean, it's not thick at all. But it has a, the dropper on here is not quite as big as other ones. So you almost have to shake it. So I got about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 drops. I'm gonna put one more on here. Literally, that's all I'm gonna need for this entire hood. All right, so we got our 8 drops, and all I'm gonna do, we're gonna go across, And you could see how this spreads. Shit. And you could see how this spreads. Shit. And you could see how this spreads. Shit. All right, guys. Hopefully this camera work is okay for you. I actually had done half the hood in the sun to test, and I do not recommend working in the sun, but this stuff is literally so slick that my camera slid across the entire hood onto the ground and then broke. So before I had to stop filming, all right, I had actually put like 8 drops on here, and then the camera went and took a dump. So I'm gonna put another, like, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Literally, and you could see them there. That's all you're gonna need. All right, and then we're just gonna hit the start. Okay. And a little goes a long way. You could see just how much is going on here. All right. A little goes a long way, so I'm just gonna do the hood. In fact, I'm gonna do the entire whole hood. And you could see it spreading. Luckily, it's good on a dark car, but like you could see, and we go in a crosshatch to make sure we have even coverage. All right, that's half the hood already. 40 seconds, I'm gonna actually apply another 3 drops and do the rest of the hood. There we go. And that's the other thing, you gotta shake this like a salt shaker. And you can work really fast with this too. In fact, that initial prime that you could see, I'm still literally doing, it's still going on. You could see it going on. And you know, and instead of a crosshatch, I'm actually kind of going in a little circle over here too. And then I'm also going to apply it on the PPF. He says look for the rainbow in the videos, but it rainbows really fast. And then it just kind of sits there. So like right now I'm at 227. So it says level 1 to 2 minutes and then go ahead and level, but check this out. Instantly, okay? No issues at all. Look at this leveling. Instant ease of leveling, okay? Like this stuff, if you have ideal conditions, and I do right now because it is 70 outside or 72 and I'm in the shade, this is ideal conditions, but this is just so easy. You get more than 2 minutes working time if you need, and almost immediately you could feel the slickness on the surface, and it gets even slicker as time goes on. So let me set the leveling towel aside, and we're just gonna come back with our truss fall towel, I guess you could call it, you know, your insurance towel, and just go across. And now with your insurance towel, even with the leveling towel, it doesn't feel like it's the slickest thing on earth. But my gosh, as soon as it starts curing after a little bit, you will just notice how slick it is to the touch. It's just absolutely crazy. but literally just like that. It is that easy to apply. I mean, it went over 2 minutes on the surface there. It's just so easy. I mean, honestly, if you get a high spot with as long of a working time as this has, if you get a high spot, it's probably because you left the applicator just sitting on the surface. I don't know of any other way that you're gonna get a high spot with this product. All right, as we start with the water behavior examples here, so this is the next day, but I want to kind of go over some of the lessons learned from the coating application. Number one, a little bit goes a long way, guys. So in that first application, when you saw me prime the applicator, that lasted me almost the entire side of the vehicle. So a little does go a long way. The other thing too is when he says level after 1 to 2 minutes, I mean, I guess unless it's super warm and humid, you could easily wait probably 3 to 4 minutes. Some of the other, as I got further and I was able to do, like I would do 2 doors finally, like on the other side. The more I did this, the more I learned that you could literally go in not just like 2x2 squares, like a lot of companies recommend, but I was able to do like 2 doors at a time because I had like a 2 to 4 minute working time, not that 1 to 2 minutes. And that made a big difference. The other thing is, like I said, a little goes a long way. I was actually able to, once I did a side, the applicator does not like get crusty at all. I was able to apply another 5 or 6 drops to that applicator, and then literally 45 minutes later, do the entire side with a second coat. And in fact, I did all the paint on the entire SUV here, and within even the roof, hood, roof, everything, all the paint. And with using less than a half a bottle, again, less than a half a bottle, I was able to put 2 coats on this SUV. So if you have a garage full of cars, if you have a couple, 2 or 3 cars, prep them all. You'll be able to get 2 or 3 cars with 1 coat easily, maybe even 2 coats out of 1 bottle. It really does last that long. And it does not get crusty. The applicator literally took me, I think on day 5, it finally became crusty for me of sitting there. But after 1 day, I thought that there was something wrong where it didn't get crusty at all. I thought I screwed up somehow with the application. But anyway, guys, if you want to buy a bottle for yourself, if you really appreciate an ease of application product that produces amazing hydrophobics, I mean, you could just see right here, but use at the House of Rags, use code TUD10 or link below. And again, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for watching the videos. This was recorded on October 24th, 2020, releasing this now in April 2025. So anyway, until the next video, I'm going to have an update video coming shortly on this. I absolutely love this stuff. But until the next time, you have a great day, everyone, and we'll talk to you later.